Cole has got this one buttoned up now. Oh, does he? It's all happening as they come round the corner. McRae doing everything, but Cole's already got his arm up, celebrating that flag, and Steve Cole wins his first race of the year, and that really does give his championship lead a very serious 20-point boost, clear of Bob Sands, Simon Wayne, Colin Blower and John Kent. Jerry Marshall out of that one with gearbox failure again, so Jerry Marshall very much in the wars. Now let's just take a breather and have a look at the nature of the beast we are dealing with here. As you can see, 4.5 litres of V8 engine producing 400 horsepower at just under 8,000 RPM, courtesy of TVR power, and huge great armfuls of torque for which the American V8 engines are justifiably renowned, and all of that crammed into a lightweight glass fibre body on a space frame chassis. Add in a dozen drivers, half a dozen racetracks, stir well, and then light the blue touch paper and run like hell, because when the green lights come on, as we have seen, this is the most exciting one-make series in the UK. Here we are at round 7, again at Donington Park, and Jerry Marshall back in action with a new and rather luridly coloured number 21 car. 28 here is John Kent, 27 is Jimmy McRae, so both of the TVR Centre cars here. Number 10 Klaas Svart, who's been showing up near the front of these races quite often just lately. And somewhere in this pack, and here he is, Robbie Head, the Scottish Group N rally driver in the Shell Celebrity car. Marshall going for Redgate. Now this is what happened last time he was at Donington Park. Oh, and Robbie Head's been poked rather severely up the boot, and that seems to have taken him right out of this race. He's well in the gravel there. That was Clive Greenhoff, the TVR dealer from the Midlands, who went off with him. Whether or not he was the culprit in that little incident, or whether he was just another innocent victim, hard to tell from that angle, but poor Robbie Head hardly made it into turn 1. Here it is from a different angle, and you can see him getting kicked off there by Clive Greenhoff, but you couldn't see what started the TVR dealer's slide there, and you can't hear either. You can just see the clip that takes Robbie Head off and the other one with it, and so I guess we'll never know who was really to blame for that. Let's go back to the lead of the race though. Jerry Marshall, the man out in front. Behind him comes a whole clutch of people anxious to secure more points in a championship in which nearly everyone is in front of Jerry Marshall. 27 up on the grass there, Jimmy McRae, he's used to it, of course, from the world of rallying. And look at this, Simon Wayne on the inside, goes past John Kent and grabs second place. Klaas Svart is in 4th. McRae coming up from behind, contesting these corners rather vigorously. Marshall, Simon Wayne. And here comes this scrap again. Jerry Marshall in the clear, Simon Wayne is second. Behind that comes John Kent. Behind that is Klaas Svart. Kent has got his nose in front of Simon Wayne. No, he's not. He was going to go round the outside, but he was on the brakes and backed off. Now he's going to try it at Redgate, or will Simon Wayne outbrave and outbrake him? It's Simon Wayne who hangs on to second place. Svart is behind Kent now, looking for a way through on the inside. There's Jimmy McRae closing as well in 5th. Meanwhile, Jerry Marshall circulating untroubled at the front. Simon Wayne has broken away from it. Klaas Svart is past John Kent, and he has Jimmy McRae sitting on his tail. Here's McRae peering forwards at John Kent, looking for a way past. Not here. And just watch the way that McRae steers this thing with his right hand and his right foot, using the steering wheel a bit and the throttle a bit. Just swings the tail end of this round. Oh, and Kent swings the tail end of his round in front of him, nearly collected the pair of them, just fractions of an inch apart, and occasionally rubbing paintwork, but so far we haven't seen any car really damaged in this series, which is pretty incredible when you think how close this racing has been. Marshall in the lead, who has been in the thick of things more often than anybody else, celebrates his win. That was a checkered flag for Jerry Marshall, and that gives him another 20 points. Oh, and look at this, all getting terribly physical here. Jimmy McRae really working hard on it, but not to be. Jerry Marshall the winner then, and that I think will put him back in the top 5. Klaas Svart is doing well as well. Steve Cole, Simon Wayne, Bob Sands, Colin Blower and John Kent equal on 65, and Jerry Marshall again just missing the top 5 leaderboard. Round 8 of the series is next up on the programme. Brands Hatch, the Indy circuit. 1.2 miles, short, sharp and furious. Jerry Marshall very much at home here. Starting from pole position, we're riding on board with Steve Cole. Into Paddock Hill Bend, Jerry Marshall already in the clear. And you can see Jerry Marshall, the experienced pole man from Brands Hatch, had already got off the line and moved high to get through Paddock and stay in front. Pole position, not always an advantage at Brands Hatch. It's low down, it's in the dip, the camber goes all wrong as you get into the bend, and it's better to be higher up on the track. Jerry Marshall, canny driver that he is, knows all about that and made a fine start there. And that 44 going for a spin there, I think it was Andy Purvis. Marshall still in the lead. And Jerry Marshall actually being chased once again by Class Spot, and he really has got to grips with his TVR, which is more than you can say for some. Sliding down the hill, Norris Miles standing in for Paul Giudecchi and obviously been taking lessons. And number 12 there is John Reed, the TVR race engineer, his first ever drive, and going off fortunately without injury to himself or the car. Jerry Marshall though cruising towards another 20 points, and this now must put his name on the championship leaderboard in the top 5, because Jerry Marshall is the winningest driver in the series so far. And there he goes, third equals his 4th victory in the series so far, and nearly all of his points have come from wins. If he hasn't won, then he's virtually scored nothing. We go on to round 9. This is Castle Combe. Once again, Jerry Marshall on pole position, and just a glimpse we caught there of the Shell Celebrity car, handled here for the first time by somebody from Formula 3000, in this case the amiable Julian Westwood. Steve Cole, the rearward facing camera as he steps off the line. Runaway points leader in the series, Steve Cole, by virtue of his consistency. Now in second place behind Marshall, there is Julian Westwood, and up on the inside comes number 7, Colin Blower. Not his usual red mount, you'll notice, but the blue and orange car, which was the championship winner for Chris Hodgetts. Marshall in the lead, Blower in second place. Now as the positions change, Jimmy McRae behind that, and Steve Cole dropping backwards. Marshall, Blower, McRae, Westwood, Steve Cole. And Julian Westwood seems to be settling into the swing of this rather easily, and Jimmy McRae there, I think, was getting too much of a swing on the tail end of his Tuscan, beginning to twitch a little bit.